give that are also true but would be counterproductive to their argument, and they don't give those facts.
What's that?
Well, I'm not going to go into absolute details because it's ludicrous. We'd have to go through each leaflet piecemeal, and I'm not about to do that. But certainly, like any other publicity material, it doesn't spend much of its time, if any, promoting the cause of the other side. And fine, that's its objective, but where I sit, I want all the information.
Yeah, but that's just giving you information on animal abuse, isn't it?
Well, I want all the information. I want the information about the opinions of those that believe, if you like, hair coursing is wrong, but I also want the information of those that believe hair coursing is right.
Well, you don't need information on that. You got to the water split, you just got to water it up, and the people there that are showing you that they like hair coursing.
Well, they tell you that they like it, but I want, if I'm going to have documentary statements vis-à-vis leaflets saying one point of view, then I want the same from the opposite side. Unlike some people, I very rarely make decisions on the basis of emotion. I make them on the basis of information, if you like. I try to make rational decisions about my beliefs because emotions can be so unreliable. There are some things that I make on purely an emotional basis, but cruelty to animals is not one of them, because some cruelty to animals I actually think is part and parcel of the nature of things. I don't think it is ever, should we say, fair to the animal. I don't think it is ever totally and utterly necessary, but I accept it's part and parcel of our society.
Yeah, but like hair coursing, I mean...
Well, we're not just talking about that. Well, you're not, in actual fact. I'm sorry, madam, you were not just talking about hair coursing. You sent me something like 25 leaflets, and only one of them, or two of them. Right, now there are different kinds of animal abuse. They were not all geared only to sport.
No, but I was saying about, you were talking about that's why I think it's leaflet to read now.
For which I thank you.
Yeah, but the people who don't agree with hair coursing, that's the facts about hair coursing, and the people that do agree go. So there is no...
I'm sorry, you're wrong. There are people who've never been to a hair course in their lives and think that it's perfectly acceptable for that rural activity to continue. So I'm sorry, your statement that those that go believe in it and those that don't go don't believe in it is absolute bunkum.
Do you believe in it?
It is irrelevant to the point of view we're trying to put forward.
No, but do you believe in it?
It is irrelevant. Why should I give an opinion?
Because I'm asking for it.
Well, you're not having it.
Well, I don't agree with hair coursing. I think it's cool.
Well, you've already told us that, and I accept that.
So you're not going to say if you agree with it, you don't?
I've already told you, no, I'm not going to say anything about it, because that wasn't what we were talking about at the outset, and I don't get meandered all over the world unless I do the meandering.
All right, then, do you agree with...
Listen, I am not going to sit here and work through a list of things that you want to work through, all right?
Right.
Right.
Okay,
Thank you for your leaflets. How do, Christina?
Hello, Alan. Hello.
Yes?
I went to the hairdressers the other day, to have some streaks put in, like a dye. And when I got home, there was the dye stuff all over some new trousers they had on that cost £25. And I was wondering if there's any way I could claim that off the hairdressers. Because it must have been on a seat that I've sat on or something in the hairdressers.
If you can prove it, yes.
Well, it's the dye.
Make your claim.
How do you claim?
Well, first of all, you need to approach the hairdresser and explain what has happened.
And what if they say, no, there's nothing they can do, but it's...
Then go to your Citizens Advice Bureau.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
I'll do Stephen.
Hello, Alan. I'd like to talk about pirate...
I'm sure you would, but given that you don't even know your own name, because you started the conversation halfway to hello, Alan, I think you're probably too much of a prat to have a conversation about anything. Goodbye. Hello, Andy.
Hello, Alan.
Too young, go to bed. Hello, Sue. Sue is gone. On line 7 we have Terry.
Hello, Alan. I want to know why so many people are talking about euthanasia.
I've no idea. Perhaps the only way to find out is to ask those that are talking about it. I'm not, so I'm not one of the people to ask. Hello, Eric.
Hello? Yeah, well, I had my order before, and it was 2 meat pies, chips and gravy.
And they've obviously got it wrong. Hello, Robert.
Why do seagulls have wings?
For to beat whatever racist group it is you wish to have a go at to the tip. Hello, Tricia.
Hello, Alan. Jonty had the ring.
I'm sure he was pleased. Hello, Paul. When you finally get through, when you just said, it'll be you, Alan was at that moment saying, hello, Paul. Obviously, you're too much of a nerd to understand the system, but no doubt you've now spent your money and are well aware of it. Hello, Martin.
Hello. Hello?
We've done that. What do you want?
Well, I think that it's unfair on 17-year-olds who can get married, die for their country, and yet they're not old enough to buy the alcohol for their wedding reception or to go and see a film of what they'd be doing on a wedding night.
You're absolutely correct. I think it's unfair as well. None of those things should be permissible until you're 25. Hello, Tim.
Hello, Alan. How are you?
What do you want?
Well, I was just thinking about the plight of Asiatic girls in Great Britain.
What do you mean by Asiatic?
Well, Muslim girls.
You mean Asian?
Well, Asian girls, yeah.
Thank you.
Well, they're mostly Muslim and all.
Well, whatever they are, you want to talk about their plight. Let us hear it.
The fathers seem to keep them tied up in chains. They just can't go.
They don't keep them tied up in chains. They just get their daughters to obey their particular religious beliefs. What is wrong with that?
Well, I think it's all wrong. That's what.
Why is it all wrong?
Because I don't believe in religion, and I don't.
That is for you, but surely it is for a parent.
Do you believe in religion?
That is irrelevant. It is for a parent to bring up.
I don't think it's irrelevant at all, Alan.
Well,
I
fine.
think a person in your position should voice your opinion on this.
Well, you must think whatever you wish to think, Tim. I will do this programme the way I want to do it, and you will just have to suffer it or turn it off.
No, quite true.
Good. Now shut up and listen.
No, I won't.
Okay, you will. Well, you won't, but no one will hear you. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Alan. Hello?
We've done that. What do you want?
Can I tell you this legal?
No. How do Stanley?
It's me again, Eric.
What do you mean it's you again?
Well, I've changed my name because the peas didn't come.
Well, fine. The peas didn't come. What do you expect a pea to do? You can't come when you're peeing. How do Anthony? Hello, Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie, yes, that's it. I want to talk about the lady who was on earlier, and she was talking about child molesting. Well, I think she's totally wrong. I think she's just mollycoddling her 10-year-old child. Because I think if you can't...
I'm sure the parent in Leeds is sitting there at the moment wishing, heavens, I wish I'd mollycoddled my child.
Yeah, but that, like you said...
Or the 8-year-old kid that was raped in a lift in London today, I'm sure her parents are thinking, I wish I'd mollycoddled my child. It's surely a perfectly acceptable reaction for a parent.
But that happens to one out of millions, like you were saying before, and if you can't let your child go down to the shops, go down to school or wherever on their own, then I don't think that child can grow up in a normal world, because they're just going to grow up soft.
They're not necessarily going to grow up soft. I don't think Prince Charles would be defined by anybody as soft.
Well, I don't think you could count him as a normal child, though, do you?
Well, no, but what you said was if they don't have the normal style upbringing where they go to school on their own and the like, they'll grow up soft. He never went to school on his own. Indeed, he doesn't even go to the loo on his own. But
and
he's not soft.
You know that for a fact, do you?
In fact, yes.
Oh, how do you know it?
I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it's true. I mean, he doesn't actually have his detective sat on the loo with him, but when he's out and about, if he goes into a public loo, the detective goes in beforehand and checks out how many windows there are, and they cover it as sillily as that.
Yeah. Okay, you might have a point there, but...
I have indeed, and he's not soft.
Okay, I've got a 9-year-old sister, and she goes to the shops on her own. For my mother, she goes to a friend's house on her own, she goes to school on her own, and, you know, nothing's ever happened to her.
Indeed, there's no escaping the fact, as I said during the course of the earlier conversation, that there are millions of children a day who are not molested. But you can still understand the fears of a parent, the fear for their child, the fear for their own emotions. Yeah. Absolutely understandable.
Okay, but the mother was saying before that she can't let her child grow up in a normal world. She doesn't think it is a normal world. But do you think it's a normal world where the child isn't let out of her sight, as she said?
But from the parent's point of view, it is more important that the kid stays alive and doesn't get molested And if that requires abnormal security, then abnormal security is what it will have.
Yeah, but I don't think that is the normal world that she'd be growing up in, though.
Well, the problem
can't have a
with a
normal
statement,
childhood.
the problem with normal childhood is nobody ever had one. They didn't. Nobody had a normal childhood.
Or what would you define as
Or
normal childhood?
alternatively, everybody had a normal childhood.
Well, everybody has a different childhood.
Indeed. So they can't all be normal. They're all different. Can they all be normal? No. The word normal is a poor word.
Okay, maybe a natural childhood.
Natural, I'm sorry, you're stuck there, aren't you? A natural childhood is one that nature permits, and on this occasion. You see, you're groping round for words in which to condemn it, but there are none. That child, however over mollycoddled it is, will grow up with a set of values learnt from its childhood and its experiences in childhood, just like any other child would. And it will then, as an adult, have to come to terms with life, with those experiences, prejudices and beliefs. But that is the case for every child. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I just want to say that I think that, woman was overreacting if she doesn't let the child out of her sight.
OK. Thanks very much, Anne-Marie.
Thank you.
Ta-ra. We shall join Tina after the break.
Allan Beswick.
How do, Tina?
Hello, Alan. I'm ringing up. A fella charged us £50 to cremate a dog. Do you know how much it is?
Well, it's £50.
Is that how much it is, yeah?
Well, if that's what he asked you for and you agreed to it and paid it, yeah. But why bother? Why don't you just bury it in the backyard?
Oh, it's not real fur, is it?
Well, I don't suppose the dog would complain.
Okay.
I once buried a donkey. You don't believe me, do you? It's true. I'll even tell you where. Hang on, I'll think of the name of the village in a minute. Oh dear, I can at Preston Brook. I was going out with a girl called Hilary, and their donkey died. And we dug up the garden and buried it. What else can you do? You can't cremate a donkey, never get it to go out. You've been burning the pigging thing all night. Anyway, there it is. So next time your dog dies, bury it. Don't pay somebody 50 quid to set fire to it, all right?
Okay.
Ta-ra. How do, Elliot?
Hello, Alan. I'd like to talk to you about a rule recently that's been applied to our school. In, not just in our year, 5th form, but for the rest of the school. And it's for none of the pupils are allowed to wear white socks. What do you think of this rule?
Very sensible. People look like fairies in white socks. How do, Joan?
Alan, I'd like to talk about computers.
Go on.
Well, I've got a Sinclair ZX Spectrum, and I recently bought a piece of word processing software for it, and I've loaded it, and I've run it, and it doesn't work, and I took it back to the shop. They gave me another one which did just the same, and I took it back, and I'd lost my receipt, and they said I couldn't have another.
All I can suggest is twofold. First of all, when you went to buy that particular piece of software, did you ask the shop, or did it have on the back, the packet or in any advertising, that it was suitable for your equipment?
Yes, it's for a Sinclair ZX Spectrum.
It says that on it?
Yeah.
That's okay. In that case, the commodity that you have bought is of non-merchantable quality. In other words, it will not perform the function for which it was purchased. And you are entitled to a full cash refund. The problem with that is that the shop is saying, prove you bought it from us. All right?
Right.
So your difficulty is proving that. What I suggest you do, how much did you pay for it first?
£9.95.
£9.95. I suggest you write to the shop, keeping a copy of your letter, send your letter recorded delivery, address it to the manager of the shop, and tell him you did buy the product there, it is of non-merchantable quality, and you want a full cash refund. And if he does not give you a full cash refund, you will be taking the matter to the county court, where you will be prepared to swear on oath that you purchased the product from his shop. Okay?
Okay, thank
That's
you.
your course of action. Ta-da! How do, Chris?
Evening, Alan. It's Chris from the Scamstock Market, Cleveland. I've just phoned for a free plug, 'cause I've not had one for a long time.
Well, you deserve it. Is your market still full?
It is indeed, and it's got so much to offer you just wouldn't believe it. We're even going to do some advertising with Go-to-Goes again soon.
Well, what's the point if it's already full?
Well, we've got to advertise our new products like Black & Decker, Hilker Tools, Addis Wares, all these branded names, cheaper than any of the big stores.
Seems to me, Chris, that you're coming into an awful lot of money. Are you still attempting to pay all your bills with pasties?
Oh, yeah.
Good to talk to you. Ta-ra.
Speak to you soon, Alan.
You cheeky person.
Goodbye now.
Good day. Hello, Russell. That's an old one, Russell, but no less funny for that. Hello? Leemin? What kind of a piggy name's Leemin?
Hello? Alan?
What sort of a name is Leemin?
It's Moomin.
Moomin?
Yeah.
Well, that's no funnier. What do you want, anyway?
I'd like to talk about the films on telly. They're not so good as they used to be like.
Well, that may well be just you're growing old, Meemin.
Well, they're not so good as they used to be, but like, swerving's bad these days.
The what?
Swerving.
Swerving?
Yeah.
Oh. What's, swerving?
Like, F off.
Oh, swearing.
Yeah, swearing.
Swearing.
Yeah.
I thought you said swerving, like you do in a car when a dog runs out, but you shouldn't. However, well, yes, I suppose there is a lot of swearing, but as they start using more recent films, they obviously go into the realms of films with more swearing.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be up after 9 o'clock anyway. You shouldn't be watching them. Anyway, that's the answer. I can't do any more about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.
Hello, Ruth.
Hello, Alan.
Well?
I'd like to talk about the child molestation question.
Go on.
I've listened with interest to the two previous conversations this evening, and it occurred to me that, you see, it's all very well quoting statistics and figures and the rest, but we live in a different world from even 2 decades ago. What with the traffic situation and the crime statistics, can I put to you an analogous situation, Alan?
Yes.
Supposing, relating to the crimes of shoplifting and theft in supermarkets, supposing one took in some men who had armbands, or women for that matter, with armbands round their arms, and then one quoted, "Oh, the shoplifting thefts are down." So, of course there will be, because the opportunity for these persons to shoplift has been removed.
Well, first of all, Ruth, I don't want to sound pedantic. In your analogous situation, would you like to tell me what these armbands say on them?
They don't say anything at all. I'm only speaking about removing opportunity. Now then, Alan...
Well, I don't understand. I'm sorry, I don't understand your analogy. I'm sorry to be, as I say, pedantic.
Well,
but
can I explain, perhaps?
feel free, yes.
Yes. If parents, and I'm a great believer in the intuitive sense and protective instincts of parents, not only in humans, but in animals for that matter. Now, if parents, rightly or wrongly, feel it incumbent upon them to accompany their children and to protect them more than they would in former decades, then I think this is quite right, as I say, what with the traffic and the crime figures. But if parents are accompanying their children, or if children are being escorted in groups with traffic wardens and lollipop ladies and the like, you haven't got a free area, as it were, for comparison. If you were to let those children go free without parental cars, minibuses, escorts, etc., then you might have a truer picture. It might be that the crime figures might be equally low. They might escalate sky high, I would say.
Right, I understand your analogy now, yes.
It's artificial. Are you with me?
I understand the
analogy.
Mathematical science that you're working on, yes.
Yeah. Similarly, if you're comparing, say, shoplifting figures, if you let people in droves, free-handed, then you've some, perhaps, only perhaps, some measure of whether or not they're going to shoplift and thieve. But if you, in effect, remove the opportunity, then you've surely not got true figures. They're either their arms are banded or they're gagged or whatever. They're not free. They're under restraint.
And any child who is accompanied by its parent is under restraint.
Well, Ruth, we're forced then to... I mean, I do accept your scientific assessment of both conversations. However, that doesn't take us any further forward, because whilst some would say it's the most complicated science in the world, bringing up a child is not a true science. So, we have to come down to the emotions, and eventually, Ruth, I say to you, do we let our children have some of the freedoms that children in yesteryear expected and deserved, or do we not?
Well, I think we are restrained by the sheer physical environment in which we live, for a start.
Indeed, we are constrained in that way. I am asking you the pure emotional question of, are there sufficient worries now for a parent to protect their child to the extent that they never permit the child to go to the shop alone, never permit the child to go to school alone? Are you in agreement with the statement that says that degree of protection is required now, or are you in disagreement with that statement?
I think it's impossible to give an all or none answer.
I'm asking just for your opinion.
Circumstances, you know, where one lives.
Indeed, I'm asking what you think is right. So what you're saying, Ruth, is exactly the same as I'm saying. There is no cause immediately for panic, because you are in fact saying, by saying the situation depends on where you live, that not every child in the country needs such protection.
Possibly, yeah.
Well, you're the scientific thinker, Ruth. That is clearly what you are saying. It may well not be what you meant to have said.
I think it is, yes.
So you concede...
I don't like to keep, qualifying everything, saying maybe or partly, but that's the kind of world we're living in, Alan. It's so difficult.
We do live in a maybe partly world, but in answer to...
Do you or do you not? Is it black or is it white? But how many things in life are black or white?
But in answer to the question, Ruth, and I'll be ruthless with you, seeing as how you call Ruth, but in answer to the question, do you believe that every child requires that protection? In answer to that question, which is a yes-no answer, it's fairly simple to assess that you would say no to that. So it is black and white in that situation.
Because otherwise,
of course,
you might as well not have them and not try to... If they've got to be guarded to that extent, then there's no freedom anymore. It's no longer a free country, is it?
So you do, to a certain extent, Ruth, agree with my statement that whilst we have no room to be complacent, we equally have a responsibility not to overreact and to start overprotecting all children. There are situations where we must take the risk, despite the fact that it is a minuscule risk statistically, and we all know we've already debated the value of those statistics and the lack of value of them, but we must eventually say, well, look, there are some things that we've just got to take a chance.
Yeah, but I do think, Alan, that the boundaries, rather like the incoming tide, it will become surging ever nearer and nearer, and nearer will come the day when, should any mishap, and God forbid, happen to any child, you'll get the police, not particularly the police, but certainly the social services and the so-called do-gooders in our society saying, well, let's look at the parent, put the spotlight on the parent. What kind of parent is this? What was he or she thinking of to allow that child to be exposed to these risks? Now, I'm not saying there should be any alarmist philosophies, but I don't think the days are too far distant before, when an incident happens, you'll get people saying, why did this parent allow the child to be exposed? So you've got a clash, in other words, a conflict between publicly expected duty and privately cherished freedoms to bring up one's children.
I'm forced to agree with you entirely, indeed to the extent that, as far as I'm concerned, that day is already upon us, not to the degree you might have meant it, but I have actually heard somebody say this very day about the young girl called Sarah, I think it is, that's missing. What were their parents thinking of?
That's it, you see, Alan.
That comment is already with us. Anyway, Ruth, an interesting conversation for which
I've enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Bye, Alan.
Bye. How do, Ben?
Hello there, Alan. I'd like to talk to you about a documentary that was on television last night. It was about the Hitler that came into England and had a secret meeting with Henry VII, I think, Edward VII, sorry. And I'd just like to say, do you think that if that had been leaked into the public, would our democracy now be changed in a hell of a lot of a way?
I don't waste much of my time conjecturing.
Midnight News, this is Steve Allen. A previously unknown pro-Libyan group says it planted the bomb which exploded on a TWA jet over Greece, killing 4 people.
Let's face it, cheap Italian wine shouldn't be drunk at all. It's only fit for washing your feet.
Ring him if you dare. Allan Beswick, the late night show.
And the telephone number in which to do so is Preston 56 1000.
Red Rose Radio.
Hello, Eddie. Thank you, Eddie. How do Bernard?
Hello, Alan. How are you doing? Alan, what I want to talk to you about is self-contained acts in clubs. I work at a club every weekend, and what we're getting is acts coming into the club. They've got backing tapes. I'm paying a drummer and an organist to play at the club, and they're not being used. Do you think these self-contained acts should be allowed to appear in clubs where drummers and organists are like employed?
Well, I'm forced to ask you, Bernard, what do you think?
Well, really and truthfully, as an artist, I used to be an artist going round. It was like, how could you put it? It was like a challenge to go into a club and play with a strange organist and drummer. But these people that have like backing tapes, they practice at home, they've got it off to a T, and it's not even a challenge anymore. It's just getting back to sort of live disco, if you put it that way.
Should we come to terms with the fact, Bernard, that the objective of the artiste is to entertain the audience, and that is the measure? Now, I've done the clubs, and I've turned up at clubs, and the resident drummer and the resident pianist, as it used to be, organist as it generally is now, has said, "Have you got your dots?" And you give them the dots, and they say, "I can't play this, I only play in C."
Yeah, well,
now, those people exist in clubs, and as a result of the crap residents in some clubs, some performers have said, "I am not having my performance knackered by some cretin trying to play the piano, some drummer that can only play a 2/4 beat or something, and I'm not having my act ruined. I want to entertain the audience, so I bring along my self-contained act." Now, Bernard, you either book 'em or you don't.
Yeah.
Let's face it. I mean, be serious. If Frank Sinatra, just a minute. If Frank Sinatra agreed to do your club, would you expect him to perform with the pleb backing him that you try to stuff up the bum of other people?
No,
you wouldn't. You would expect him to bring his own piano player. And if he couldn't, he'd bring a recording of his own piano player.
No, not really.
No, he wouldn't. You think he'd turn up and say, "Okay, I'll play with that. Yeah, here's me dots, lad." Woody pills.
It's not work like that.
It does work like that. I've been there.
Sorry?
It does work like that. I've been there. An awful lot of club residents are crap.
True.
An awful lot of club performers are crap.
That's your challenge.
You're not there to have a challenge.
Yeah.
You were there to entertain the audience, not despite the musicians that are available. The audience don't give a toss whether you're winning a game with the pianist or the organist or the resident musicians.
Yeah,
the audience want to be entertained.
Yeah, it's getting more and more though, these backing tapes. Now, don't you think that an organist that has sort of rehearsed and practiced for years on end, years, perfecting his...
Bernard, let me tell you, if the organist was good enough, he'd be able to get himself a job as a session musician and make a fortune.
One session musician can work out for so many artists, it's unbelievable.
Indeed.
So
I'm a great believer in keeping music live, unless the audience says, "This is crap."
Yeah, well, it should be graded, as I say.
Well, how do you grade them?
Well, you can grade
how?
Clubs. The agents,
do you actually think an agent who's going to take his slice, because he's a big fat ugly pig wanting to make his money out of somebody else, do you think he's going to give a toss? All he cares about is his 25%, 15% or whatever the thief is taking.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, come on, don't be telling me agents have got hearts. They've got wallets and bog all else. I wouldn't give you $1 for 5,000 agents.
To you, you know.
I'm sorry?
They're listening
They can listen to me till they're blue in the face. I haven't got an agent, I don't want an agent, and I've never met an agent yet that I would pee on.
My opinion is he's doing a lot of people out of work, and
if the people aren't good enough, they deserve to be out of work in the entertainment industry. It is the real world. It's the industry, the only industry that I'm aware of, where you live or die by your abilities.
Yeah, if anyone's listening, I'd like to hear their opinion anyway.
Well, if anyone's listening, I'm sure they will be listening. They won't be listening to the crap in the clubs these days, will they? I'll do to Patricia.
Hello, Alan. I'd like to talk about the Reverend Nigel Wright.
Who's he?
He was the one that received the ring from John.
I thought he might be. I'll do Paul.
All right, Alan. I was in the pub tonight.
You'll have to talk a bit louder, we can't hear you.
Yeah, well, I was in the pub tonight.
We still can't hear you, Paul. My apologies. Would you like to try a different line by ringing Preston 561,000? I'll do Anne.
Hello?
Hello.
You know the girl that rung up, Tina I think her name was, who had a dog that was buried or something?
Cremated, and somebody charged her 50 quid.
Yeah, well, you can have it done for about 10 or 20 pounds.
Still seems a lot to set fire to a dog.
Yeah, but it might not be the decent thing for you, but some people who are called animal lovers like to have, or love their animals, like to have the ashes or something like that, you know, so that they can remember it.
God. Still, I think each to their own. If they want to get their dog cremated, if they'll do it for a tenner, I'll do it for £9.90, provided they don't mind me doing it in our backyard. And bring their own urn.
Not as well as a donkey.
As well as a donkey. All right.
Yeah.
So,
see ya.
Sounds smart to me. Burning dogs, 10 quid a time. Bring us a dozen. I'll do Alice.
Hello, Alan.
Hello.
Sorry
do you think I could open a shop when I've got all these dogs to burn? You think I could open a shop selling hot dogs? Hey, you supply the onions, Alice. We've got it cracked.
Listen, Alan. This is going to fetch a smile to your face.
Go on.
I've been out today. I've bought a box of toffee. Now, my son's just brought this to my attention. On the box of toffee, it has Brazil nut toffee. Now, then, listen to the ingredients, love. Glucose, syrup, sugar, sweetened condensed milk, vegetable fat, Brazil nuts, salt, butter, and emulsifier. Now, my son says, we've had one of these toffees, and my son said, Mum, where's the Brazil nut? I said, well, them little bits. He says, now, Mum, that's wrong. It should have said on the box, Brazil nut bits toffee. Come on, Alan.
I think he's probably right.
Settle this argument. I can't stop laughing.
I agree with him. I think he's right.
Well, now, what do I call this, Alan? Is it that the, Descriptions Act?
Trade Descriptions Act, absolutely. 1968 Trade Descriptions Act. You've been ripped off. Take them back. Say, I want the nuts glowing together.
Alan, I can't take them back because I've had about 4 or 5.
Well, you should be able to control yourself, madam. Never mind. It's a good job you had your teeth in, else you could have took them back.
Best of luck, love.
And you. Speaking of a Brazil nuts, I hope you get better soon, Alice.
Hey, you feeling blue?
Because your car ain't right for you.
Bradshaw's Car Delights.
New and used, they've got it right.
Cars with dealer bill.
Lowest prices, it's a steal.
Bradshaw's have today
400 cars to drive away. So who you gonna call?
Bradshaw's.
Yeah.
Preston 54083. There's a car for you at Bradshaw's.
Who's the biggest Ford dealer?
Bradshaw's.
And where'd you get the best deals?
Bradshaw's.
I can't hear you.
Hey, Bradshaw's.
Right.
I'll do Michael.
Hello, Alan. I'd like your opinion on home insurance claims.
Well, some are good, some are bad, some are not.
No, it's I'm getting pretty stuck at the moment with the insurance claim. It's twice in the last month my home has been robbed and vandalised, and they've either stolen or smashed up virtually every article that I have. Now, at the moment, a certain firm, which I'm not going to name, are dealing with the claim for the insurance company. Now, this man is how can I say it? He's an ignorant chap, and he's not giving me the service that I require to replace my home contents. Is it within my right to get a second opinion on my insurance contents, my home contents?
Yes.
It's quite within my right to do that.
Absolutely. It seems as if you're dealing with an insurance assessor.
Yeah, an assessor,
Right.
but
Now, the assessor works for the insurance company. They pay him. I mean, he doesn't work for him full time, but they pay him. Usually they have contracted assessors around the country. So if you're not happy with his assessment of your damages, and you're not happy with the offer made in settlement by the insurance company, you can in fact sue on the basis of contract.
going to that, you see, if I want to sue on the basis of settlement, the insurance company have it in the insurance claim to the things I want in my home, you know, things like the carpets in the suite and one thing and another that have been damaged or stolen. They can go out and buy them at wholesale prices off their own back and just say, look, here's your stuff back. We don't want to know you anymore. We've replaced the stuff. We have fulfilled our contract with you.
Well, the issue as to whether they have fulfilled their contract is a legal one. They may think they have, but as long as you do not think they have, you can take them to court and have the court decide whether they have or not.
Now, if I get a second opinion, would I have to pay for this, or was the insurance company?
Of course you would have to pay for it. They're hardly likely to pay another assessor. They're only paying one. They only need one as far as they're concerned. If you decide you need another one, then why should they pay for that? That is your decision, not theirs.
Also, I live in a council house. Yeah, I get that's what I was advised before from the Citizens Advice.
What do you mean that's what you were advised? That you live in a council house? I would have thought that you know that you do.
Yeah, I know you live in a council house, but I was advised, what the advice you've just given, well, not the advice, the opinion you just given me was the opinion I was given before. Now, I live in a council house. It's been robbed and vandalised twice in the last 4 weeks, and the council won't rehouse me. Are they bound by any type of contract? No, I won't say that, but by...
The answer to your question that you're about to put, do they have to rehouse you? No.
No, they don't.
No, if you have sufficient claim on another property, greater than somebody else's claim on that property, then yes. But you probably do not. You already have accommodation, and they are only required to accommodate you, and that they are doing.
They're only required to accommodate me once, but I've been given police advice. That the police give me advice to move, or I said I can't move.
Well, indeed, but the police's view is that you ought to move, but it is not the obligation of the council to put that objective in process. It's not for them to move you just because the police advise you to move. It may well enhance your claim for a move, but it doesn't guarantee it.
So, who could I see to back my chances up of moving house?
Your local district councillor.
I've seen him, and he's put the claim through, and it's stopped there. Would the MP be able to help me anyway?
The MP might be able to help you, but the MP has no legal power with the local authority.
No, I thought he would have.
Well, whatever you thought is wrong. He hasn't. His opinion is considered, but the MP is a member of Parliament, not a member of Council. The Council is the local authority whose job it is to handle local matters. The MP's job is to handle national matters and to handle the problems of the constituents. But when he approaches your local authority, he can only ask that the local authority implement the legislations made up of the government of which he is a part.
So if I could get the MP on my side, it would carry my argument. Or, well, not necessarily my argument.
It would be another arrow in your quiver, but it wouldn't mean you would win the battle. Of course it would, but it wouldn't mean you'd win the battle.
But I would stand at a...
I've already answered that.
Yeah, like I said, I would stand...
You would enhance your chances, as it were.
Yeah.
All right?
One more thing. How long do you think it would take you to learn the questions in a Trivial Pursuit game?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
I have trouble enough with the answers.
So do we.
Glad to hear it. Ta-ra.
Thanks a lot.
I'll do, Alison.
Hello?
Yep.
Hello, Alan. I'd like to talk about the teachers' dispute.
And go on.
Well, up until about a couple of months ago, I used to have about 2 days off every week. And now we get chucked out at dinner times. And, you know, they don't have to do a lot to get loads of holidays and, you know, they don't have to do a lot really, do they?
Well, they have to put up with jerks like you, Alison, which I'm sure is quite a trying task. Hello, Jim.
Tim.
Tim, my apologies.
Yes, Tim, it is not Jim.
Yeah, well, Tim, I'll do.
Well, I want to know what you think about democracy, Alan.
I've never experienced true democracy,
Well-
so I don't have an opinion.
Well, would you not think the word democracy itself means freedom of choice?
No, democracy is the majority controlling the minority. So, of course, the minority will not have choice. In a democratic process,
so
a large number of people control a small number of people. So for the small number of people, their choices, their freedoms, are impaired, obviously.
Oh, well, I didn't think that, Alan. I thought...
Well, are you suggesting that a democracy, for a democracy to exist purely, it would have to permit an individual that chose to do so to murder another individual?
No chance at all.
So a democracy does limit freedoms.
No, you're twisting, Alan.
I'm not twisting anything. You said...
are. The law-
You used the word freedom. Now, the answer is democracy does not provide freedom.
No.
Democracy provides a rule, a set of rules for society.
Well, I don't agree with you. But don't cut me off, because...
What do you mean you don't agree with me? Are you suggesting that democracy doesn't provide a set of rules for a society?
Democracy is a word. It's nothing to do with law. And it's nothing to do with the law of the land. Democracy means one thing. It means the freedom of choice. That's what democracy means.
No, it doesn't.
No,
I don't care whether you agree or not. It doesn't mean that.
All right. We'll go on from that. So, earlier on I called you on about Asiatic girls. And I said, democracy means, I'm telling you what it means now. You can argue with me from day on and day on. But I'm telling you what democracy means. It means the freedom of choice, like them people in South Africa. Although I never used the word black, and I wouldn't use the word coloured. I'd call them African people. That's what I would say. And those people have the freedom of choice, and they're the majority. And whether they're the majority or the minority, the Asiatic girls here in England are now English, and they have the freedom of choice.
Well, first of all, they're not English.
They are English.
Some are, some are not.
Well, they are. They're all born.
I'm sorry, some have not all been born in England. Some of them came over to England as young children. Some of them came over last year. Some of them came over after Mr... What was his name? The guy in Uganda. I've forgotten his name, but it's immaterial. When they were thrown out of Uganda, they came here as young children. They were not born here. They may well be British subjects, but not all are.
They may not be. All right, some not. But those that are here, I remember Jewish people years ago, I'm in corner stores and all this and all the rest of it. But these girls, they have a liking for English lads and all the rest. And I'm
sorry, Tim, I am not prepared to allow you to say that these girls have a liking for English lads. Some of them do, some of them don't.
Right.
But Jewish people can be English.
I'm using the word Democrat because that's why I started my argument with you. And I believe in absolute democracy. And you can...
Absolute democracy. Explain what you mean by absolute democracy.
Freedom of choice. That's what I mean by democracy.
Freedom of choice between what? You see, you believe in absolute democracy. Let me ask you a question. Do you believe...
of what they want.
Freedom of choice, what they want. So if I choose, if it is my choice to have a Rolls Royce...
Go on.
...and I have not the money to buy it, democracy, in your definition, permits me to go and get it. I have the freedom of choice. I choose to own a Rolls Royce.
I would say you could even go and steal it, Alan. I'll agree.
Well, I'm asking you that. So you're suggesting that democracy, by your definition, permits me to go and steal a Rolls Royce?
If you feel so.
So you're saying democracy provides me with that freedom?
Democracy does provide you with that freedom.
It doesn't, you daft.
Of course it does.
How?
Because you could...
Do we live in a democratic country?
Any man in England...
Do we live in a democratic country, by your definition?
Any man...
Do we live in a democratic country?
We do.
So, in this country, I am permitted to go and steal a Rolls Royce?
Yes, quite.
Well, I thank you for your permission. I'll be there tomorrow.
No, hang on.
I'm sorry. Go on, then.
Don't cut me off.
Oh, no, I won't cut you off. Why? I'm having a lot of fun listening to your stupid ramblings.
It's not stupid ramblings.
Not to you, it's not, but to me and everyone listening to this programme, it is clearly stupid.
No, it's not to when you say everyone that's listening in. It's not, because they are listening in. And this is a very delicate situation.
We have a vote immediately before us at this moment in this democracy of ours. Don't go away, Tim.
No.
If you think... Just listen, Tim. Don't go away. Good. If you think Tim is talking utter bullshit, ring 5522 Listen and shut up. Listen, listen. You agree with democracy. We're now having a democratic vote, so shut up and you can hear.
I won't put this phone...
I'm not asking you to. I'm asking you to sit there, Tim. Don't go away. All right? Don't go away. No one's asking you to go away. Now then, we're going to have a democratic vote on whether the people listening to this programme think you're talking crap or not. Now, don't go away.
How can I...
Listen, shut up. Shut up and listen on this programme at this moment. Tim.
You may have told them all to vote against me.
Tim.
I'll tell you this now.
Tim, listen. Listen, Tim, you're going to have to grow up one day. You might as well do it today. I want people now to vote. Do you think Tim is talking crap? If you do, dial 552211. And if you think Tim is talking sense, dial 552233. Both those numbers are Preston numbers, of course. Now there, Tim, I can't do any fairer than that. I've asked people to vote in. So far, Tim, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people think you're talking crap. Nobody's yet voted in your favour, but I'm sure it'll happen. If you think Tim is talking sense, dial 552233. If you think Tim is talking crap, dial 552211. Now that's fair enough, isn't it? Incidentally, whilst you're there, allow me to tell you what democracy... Listen, allow me to tell you what the dictionary says about democracy, Tim. Democracy, government by all the people, direct... Tim, my little drunken pillock, will you listen carefully, Petal? Tim!
If you've any problem, girl, come and stop.
Tim, you're a jerk. I know you have to get your sexual kicks by your perverted attitude and trying to give your address on the radio and inviting all girls, but Tim, most girls, Tim, don't want to fart for a friend. However, the word democracy, Tim, you seem to know... No one can hear you, Tim, you sozy pillock. Now listen carefully, and I will tell you what democracy means. I have here a reference book known as the Concise Oxford Dictionary, and on page 254, he's still prattling on, it says... Government by all the people, direct or representative, form of society ignoring hereditary class distinctions and tolerating minority views. It doesn't mention... It seems you're still talking. Shut up now. 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 If you want to stay on the air, shut up now. This is your last chance, my little bumbling brain fool. Shut up and listen, or else go away. You're going away. Thank you very much. The vote so far, 131 people think you're talking bullshit. I'm sorry, it's now 139, and 7 think you're talking sense. Never mind. 7 say you're talking sense. I bow to their superior judgment. 143 think you're talking bullshit. Who am I to argue with democracy? Thank you, Tim. Good night, Vienna. We will now talk to our next call. You can stop ringing now, thank you very much. And how do you in? Were you in? Which way would have you voted? Seems you're not there at all. Hello, you in? He's gone away. Never mind. We'll talk to